What still matters? The week of June 28, 2026. 2 weeks ago, the Commerce Department banned foreign nationals from using two of Anthropic's most powerful models, Mythos 5 and Fable 5, after the administration said a safeguard could be bypassed to reach the model's cyber capabilities. Because Anthropic cannot check every user's nationality in real time, it took both models offline for everyone. On Friday the 26th, Commerce partially reversed that. According to a letter from the Commerce Secretary that NPR has seen, the government will now let a small, named list of American companies use Mythos 5, including those companies' foreign staff. Fable 5 stays restricted. The new part is that the government, not the company, decides which firms are on the list. The same week, OpenAI said it had agreed to let the administration vet which companies get access to its newest model, calling it the strongest path to wider release while saying the vetting should not become permanent. So in the span of 2 weeks, the US government has gone from hands-off to deciding, company by company, who can use the most capable AI. Anthropic was forced into it by an export order. OpenAI agreed to it on its own. That is the structural shift, and it is now spreading across the industry. And the controls may matter less than they look. The same month, the Chinese lab Z.ai released GLM 5.2, an open-weight model that reached roughly the level of the top closed models on coding benchmarks, free to download under an open license. Open models are catching up to the frontier just as the United States locks the frontier down. In Europe, the AI Act is moving the other way. The EU agreed to the first changes to the law since it passed in 2024, under what is called the Digital Omnibus. The obligations on high-risk systems, things like AI used in hiring, education, or critical infrastructure, get pushed back, standalone systems to December 2027, and AI built into regulated products to August 2028. The original deadline was this coming August. What stays on for August 2nd is the Transparency Rule, Article 50, which requires telling people when they are dealing with AI or AI-generated content, plus a new ban on AI tools that generate non-consensual intimate images and child abuse material. So the world's first comprehensive AI law is being thinned and delayed before its main provisions take effect, while the United States is building a parallel control regime out of export law. The two largest AI jurisdictions are writing the rules right now, in opposite directions. Colombia elected Abelardo de la Espriella president. He is a 47-year-old lawyer who has never held office and got onto the ballot through citizen signatures rather than a party. He won the runoff by about 1.49.7% to the left-wing Senator Ivan Cepida's 48.7%, and the National Electoral Council confirmed the result on June 24. He ran on a culture war platform, opposing abortion, same-sex adoption, and what he calls gender ideology, and he was endorsed by Donald Trump. This hands the presidency of a major Latin American country back to the right after Gustavo Petro's left-wing government, and it puts another Trump-aligned leader in the hemisphere for at least the next 4 years. Keir Starmer resigned as British Prime Minister on June 22, under pressure from his own Labour Party. The frontrunner to replace him is Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, who won a by-election in the Makerfield seat on June 18 to get back into Parliament, a few days before Starmer quit. Labour opens nominations on July 9 and wants a new leader before the summer recess. If Burnham wins, he will be Britain's 7th Prime Minister in about 10 years, and that churn now sits on top of a stalled economy and a Labour government that won a large majority less than 2 years ago and is already replacing its leader. The United States and Iran held their first round of talks in Biggenstock, Switzerland, and agreed on a roadmap to a final deal within 60 days. This builds on a 14-point memorandum signed on June 17 to end the war that began in February. They set up working groups on the nuclear program, on sanctions, and on monitoring. Iran agreed to let IAEA inspectors back in, and they opened direct channels to avoid clashes in the Strait of Hormuz, plus a deconfliction cell for Lebanon. Pakistan and Qatar mediated. It is fragile. The same week, Israel killed scores of people in Lebanon despite the ceasefire there. A roadmap with inspectors and working groups is more than the earlier handshake, but the 60 days have not been tested yet. That's what still matters this week.